Hey everybody, welcome back to the Demon's Crest playthrough. I actually almost said F-Zero because that's the first thing I think of when I see Mode 7 graphics.
Oh, fuck Jungle World, burn it down. I said burn it down, don't blow it.
Keep that thought in your mind for later. Anyway, this area is annoying because this is one of the laggier parts in the game because there's like a million bats all over the place.
I thought they were all the laggy parts of the game.
Some areas are worse than others. It's actually kind of weird. Some enemies some places there can be tons of enemies on screen at a time and it's not an issue. But for other areas, it's much harder. The game wants you to get the aerial gargoyle to get that bottle, but screw it, I'll take the one hit if it keeps me from backtracking. So, yeah.
Do you think, like, in the manual, they try to excuse the slowdown with, like, you're a demon, you have enhanced perception?
No, John, it was only Sonic that tried to pull that shit, okay? It was only Sonic. They're the only ones.
Enhanced perception.
No.
Diabolical traps. Set
Dr. Robotnik did not actually set diabolical traps. It was bad programming. You just gotta... Yeah, so we don't burn it down, but the bad guy does. Does that count, John?
Yeah, I just said burn the forest down, so yes, indeed.
Time to start Act 2 of Angel Island.
Smokey, where are you? Oh no, government cut his funding. Oh, that's why.
Oh, poor Smokey.
Well,
I wanted to ask you the first part, but like, how did you discover Demon's Crest?
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
The game that has Firebrand in it, but not Mega Man.
Yeah, so that's honestly probably where a lot of people did. I didn't play it until much later after it came out, but I was interested in it, mostly because Phoenix Wright was in it. So I looked up all the other characters, and I'm like, Firebrand, and he looked familiar, because I had played Ghosts and Goblins / Super Ghouls and Ghosts before then. I'm letting myself get hurt here, there's a reason for it. But anyway, so I recognized him, and I was like, isn't that the demon from Ghosts and Goblins? And I did some research, and it's like, holy shit, he's got his own games. But I didn't get a chance to play any of these until much, much later when they came onto the Wii U Virtual Console. So yeah, it's a great series. I'm really glad that I got a chance to play it because this is one that I've been looking forward to for a while. So anyway, the reason why I killed myself is because when you fight the boss, it gets rid of the burning trees from the top of the screen. So the game expects you to beat the boss and then come back here to find this health pickup that used to be in the burning trees. But if you just let yourself die, you can come back and pick it up immediately. Well,
it takes so long to be rejuvenated that the trees have had more than enough time to just wilt away.
I guess so. But yeah, the game thankfully gives you a checkpoint like every time you enter a room. So you can retry this boss over and over again until you win, which is good because this guy's really, really annoying. I think this guy is one of the only ones whose name I remember because it's easy. It's like Flame Lord, which is, easy to remember. But he takes double damage from grounded gargoyle. It's just...
Well, ground is super effective against fire.
Yeah, it's because we're playing Pokemon match types, yeah.
It's just, I think if you get hit by his body, it does 2 damage, and at this point you've only got like 7 health, which is a lot of health. And his second form is aerial, which means you're not going to be able to get a lot of good shots with the grounded gargoyle on it.
Tengu Man, we meet again.
Yeah.
Tornado hole.
I'm also really bad at those kind of wavy patterns and dodging them, because I think,
You mean sine and cosine?
Yeah, it's like I always think I'm standing where he's not going to be, but then I'm always in the wrong spot. And he moves kind of fast, so it's hard to... And he's very close to you as well, so it's hard to... it's hard to adjust your...
You get too worked up anticipating his moves that you don't anticipate his moves.
Sure, I guess. Also, that totally did not take me 5 tries to beat him. Yeah.
You only had 1 hit left, too.
Yeah, so it was getting very tense.
Ooh, a spring!
I think that's actually the tornado power-up, which I think I use...
We do get tornado hold from him.
A demon spring.
Yeah, so... Well, it's better than Spring Mario, but it's actually not very useful in this game. A lot of the Fire Crest abilities you...
Oh shit, wait, you jump higher with it. It is a spring.
Oh, this part. Screw this part. This is the hardest part of the game. I'm not joking. This is the minigame. There are 3 levels of difficulty for this minigame on the world map, but we are only doing the hardest version because that's the only one that gives you a reward other than money. So here's the thing about this minigame. Skulls are going to come out of the wall and the holes.
It's whack-a-mole.
Yeah, you have to whack them by using the headbutt, which is done with the... Why am I showing the rules? I'm explaining the rules right now. Damn it. But anyway, so the skulls are going to be coming out of the wall, basically. There'll be 2 at a time. Here's the thing. You have to headbutt in the air in order to get most of them. And it's very imprecise. It takes a lot of time to get a lot of practice to get the timing ready for these things. And their hitboxes are terrible, too, I should mention. There's a lot of times where you swear you are spot on with your headbutting, and then the game just doesn't count it. And then there are times like right there where I didn't even touch the damn skull, and they give it to you anyway. So, yeah, it's frustrating. And then there are times when the skulls disappear right as soon as you were about to hit them. It's just really, really annoying. And the time limit is very, very strict on this final version of the minigame. I think it's like 25 skulls in 30 seconds, which means that if you mess up more than like maybe 3 or 4 times, you lose instantly.
So like what you did there.
Yeah, basically. I was really, really, really close that time, actually. This is probably the thing that took me the longest, even more than the final boss, and the final boss is pretty tough too. So
The final boss is just this.
yeah, basically, this is probably what's going to be the most frustrating thing about the run for people. Don't feel bad for using save states or the restore points or whatever the heck they call it in the virtual console. Don't feel bad. Like, it's honestly just saving you time from having to grind money later, really. And the game does drop money for you, so if you're playing this legitimately or on like an SNES or whatever, like, you theoretically could use those money drops to continue playing the game, but you also have to waste time going to pick up the money, which means that you probably won't be able to get enough skulls in order to win. And I just barely won there because I've only got 1 flame left. That's it.
I was gonna say that didn't look much better than your first attempt. But I'm only gauging from what I saw previously. Maybe you're just feeling bad for you.
It's a lot harder than it looks. Is the big thing about it. It's not. It's rough. is basically the best version of it. And the great thing about Mode 7 maps is that you can barely tell where you're going most of the time. It's wonderful. It also,
or what anything is.
Yeah, it also is pretty small, and it kind of loops. So it's very easy to get yourself turned around on the map.
Now, do you find yourself do you think the level design in this game at some points kind of forgets that you're a devil that can fly?
No, it's built around it. Like right here, you're expected to be hovering the entire time,
yeah.
so you can swoop underneath the pillar or whatnot. That's actually one thing that I guess you could criticize about the game is we're about to get the aerial gargoyle right now, and after we get that, you basically don't have to platform anymore because you can literally fly. Like, you can go up or down whenever you want. So you don't.
And there was probably no real indication for that whatsoever.
No, the breakable blocks, like the.
Well, yeah, but I assume the blocks would reveal something, not walk through the wall behind the blocks.
Well, they're not going to be there for no reason. There is actually there's an item that's much worse about that back in level 2, but we're not going to be getting that for a little bit. So I'll point that out when we get there. But most of the secrets in this game aren't too stupidly hidden. There's really only one that I think is kind of obnoxious. But like here, the game doesn't lag too bad with all these enemies on screen. But like,
well, there's less you're interacting with.
I suppose so, but like, get all of four little things of rocks on the screen at once, and then suddenly the game just has to slow down and take a breather. Also, can you tell that Capcom loves reusing bosses? Because I sure can. You fight this gargoyle like 3 times.
God, not even part 3. We're already at the Capcom boss rush.
Actually, there's not really a boss rush in this game. You do fight.
How do we know it's a Capcom game then?
There's the logo.
I'm confused.
Hey, guys, there's a logo at the front that says Capcom on it. That's how you know Capcom made it.
But it doesn't have a
I don't
boss rush.
understand.
Oh, you poor souls. So yeah, you.
Said the Red Armorer.
Oh no, Firebrand doesn't feel pity. He's just angry all the time. But I think you might have noticed that I'm only ever using Blockbuster from this point on because it's just better than the Fireball. I think it does the same amount of damage, but you can have two on screen and it breaks blocks, so it's just better.
Well, that just sounds like a better weapon.
Yeah, it is. There's like the only reason why you'd ever use the normal fire is because it lights torches, but there's only 2 rooms in the game where you need to light torches, so yeah. Anyway, this is the tornado and it sucks. So what it can do is give you a temporary platform to stand on, but seeing as you get it
Is that a pun?
right before you're supposed to get the aerial gargoyle, it becomes very useless very quickly. So yeah, I don't usually bother with it.
Well, tornadoes generally suck, Ted.
No, they kind of... I wouldn't say they suck. They more kind of move air around in a strange way. It's not quite a suction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a fancy crown. Awesome. This doubles the amount of money you pick up. So, actually, I don't know if it's doubles or if it just makes money drops more common. But in any case, I keep that equipped up until we get the added defense and attack ones because those are just better.
I dub thyself King, Red Armorer.
Well, that's actually funny. In pretty much every game, like, the first 2 games both end with, you can go and conquer the human world if you want, and then that's just how it ends. Like, it's just like, the game says...
That should end with the beginning of Ghosts and Goblins.
That's kind of that's my fan theory, not that Ghosts and Goblins Demon's Crest lore is particularly deep, but, whatever.
What? No. It's a good day. We're following the story of how one man is just trying to get some.
How it became a happy end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't it kind of lame?
Exaggeration.
Isn't it kind of lame though if this specific Red Armor is if he's one of the enemies you fight in Ghosts and Goblins, he like goes through all of this hell, and then he just is randomly killed by some doofus in his underwear, like in the human world. Like that's a little undignified, don't you think?
No, fuck him.
Oh, that's just
How
kind of...
do you know it's underwear? How do you know it wasn't the gold armor?
Because if you're playing Ghosts and Goblins, about 70% of the time you're in your underwear.
No, you're in bones. That's what you meant.
Well, maybe if you suck.
Yeah.
I mean, although granted, I've never gotten past level 2 of the NES Ghosts and Goblins, so I'm not one to judge. Yeah, so the game expects you to be fighting this guy much later than I am right now. I think at this point the game kind of, because he's technically considered the hidden path in this level. So, assuming that you've been exploring all the levels up to this point to the...
He's Storm Eagle.
Yeah, he's Storm Eagle, basically. But if you've been exploring the game as thoroughly as possible up to this point, you probably are already on your second bar of health, and you probably have a few more abilities at your disposal. So this fight should be a little bit easier then, because I think here, like, you can only take like 3 hits and then you're dead.
No, you know what though? I kind of disagree. I get Tengu Man out of this guy the most, because that right there, that's Tornado Hold verbatim.
Yeah, but that's also Storm Eagle's move.
Yeah, but Storm Eagle's move's horizontal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a horizontal blast of energy. A blast of wind, I should say. Energy.
Well, I mean, wind is energy. It's moving. Moving is...
And where are the dive bombs?
No, he dive bombs all the time.
He swoops around. Yeah, he swoops around.
He swoops, but he doesn't dive bomb.
Oh, the swoops are far more dangerous than any of Storm Eagle's dive bombs, at the very least.
You found
Dive
the
bombs
Lavender Chaos Egg.
Are just annoying.
Yeah, so now we get the aerial gargoyle.
You can now morph
You can
into
transform into a
gargoyle.
Yes! Finally!
Sure.